Robert Downey Jr., after a 5-year break, is returning to Marvel, but before he did that, he actually turned down Ryan Reynolds. Making the movie Deadpool and Wolverine, Hugh Jackman told Ryan Reynolds in 2021 he'd return as Wolverine after saying 4 years earlier he'd never come back doing the movie Logan. It was one of the most cameo-filled movies in history, where 45 different actors from both the MCU and the Fox universe returned for Deadpool and Wolverine. But one actor Ryan Reynolds asked to return for Deadpool and Wolverine was Robert Downey Jr., saying he wanted him to share a scene with Jon Favreau. Jon Favreau does actually have a very big scene in the movie Deadpool and Wolverine, but that scene was originally written with Robert Downey Jr. taking the main stage and Jon Favreau only being a small part of it. He even wrote the scene in 2018 just so it would make sense for Robert Downey Jr.'s character to be in there, because it does take place before the events of Avengers Infinity War. When Ryan Reynolds approached Robert Downey Jr. with the script, he said he was completely shocked he got an instant no. The reason was Robert Downey Jr. was already in talks to return as Dr. Doom, but he couldn't tell Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds said he didn't know about that until it was revealed, but now is happy for him.
Robert Downey Jr. is a Hollywood mainstay who rarely shies away from high-profile projects, especially those linked to Marvel. So when reports emerged that he rejected a cameo in Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool universe, people were quick to speculate. On the surface, it seemed like a simple scheduling conflict, or maybe a sign that RDJ wanted a different kind of comeback. But the story grew more intriguing once rumors pointed to deeper drama behind Ryan Reynolds' squeaky-clean persona. From whispered feuds with co-stars to abrupt shakeups in the Deadpool franchise, it appears there may be more to this than mere timing. Below, we'll unravel the alleged conflicts involving Ryan and other celebrities, from co-stars like Morena Baccarin and TJ Miller to directors who parted ways under tense circumstances. Then we'll circle back to how all this might have influenced Robert Downey Jr. to politely but firmly say no to a project that once seemed like a guaranteed blockbuster cameo. For many fans, an Iron Man appearance in the Deadpool series seemed like a match made in Marvel heaven. Ryan Reynolds has a knack for drawing in famous faces. Just look at the cameo surprises in the previous Deadpool movies. Yet when Ryan approached Robert Downey Jr. about popping up in Deadpool 3, the answer was reportedly an instant numbered official buzz suggested RDJ was already in discussions for other Marvel roles, possibly something bigger than a simple cameo. Another theory? He wanted a more controlled reintroduction to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, without comedic crossovers overshadowing his dramatic return. But these safe explanations didn't stop fans from suspecting a bigger story beneath the surface. After all, turning down a cameo is one thing. Turning down a cameo in one of the most beloved and meme-worthy corners of Marvel is something else entirely. And it came at a time when rumors were intensifying that Ryan Reynolds might not be the laid-back, approachable star he portrays online. Ryan Reynolds achieved a near-flawless reputation through witty tweets, good-natured banter, and the wildly popular Deadpool franchise. He seemed that rare actor who could poke fun at himself while building a formidable entertainment empire, encompassing everything from spirits brands to sports teams. Then cracks began to form. Commentators have pointed out that Ryan's off-screen behavior might be vastly different from his public persona. One particularly vocal individual has been Candace Owens, who shared claims from an industry source that Ryan Reynolds, not anyone else, is the real spark behind certain feuds in Hollywood.
She said the tip came from someone who allegedly worked on the set and said lately everyone is bashing Blake Lively, but apparently the true villain of the saga is Ryan. This person is alleging that everything started when Ryan Reynolds decided to stroll onto the movie set one day and review the dailies. This is an industry term for all the footage that they filmed for the day. And he also decided to take a look at the script, and between the two, something allegedly set him off. This person claims that the production assistants then overheard Ryan and Blake having an argument in her trailer. Ryan Reynolds started being on the set on a regular basis as if he were her chaperone, and that is when he started inserting himself into the actual production, including writing lines. And then she says the next part was alleged in their lawsuits that Ryan and Blake, perhaps in response to her husband's anger, began inserting themselves in the effort to change lines and change scenes. And of course, the allegation that Ryan Reynolds was making fun of Justin Baldoni in his movie when he played the character Nice Pool. And we did hear this, I believe, from Justin's lawsuit, but correct me if I'm wrong, but she also says that allegedly Ryan presented an ultimatum to WME, the biggest talent agency in Hollywood, whose client roster include everyone from Taylor Swift to Justin Baldoni. Basically saying that it's us or him. And again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is what Justin Baldoni also alleged And I think he said it happened either at the premiere of It Ends With Us or the premiere of Deadpool and Wolverine. Obviously, she says we know what happens next. He gets dropped by WME. Wayfarer Studios had effectively been instantly blackballed, persona non grata in Hollywood instantly, and truly they had done nothing wrong but cast a woman into one of their movies with an allegedly very jealous husband. My source says that Justin Baldoni is legitimately a good guy who truly wanted to do this project, but he cares deeply about women issues. And she goes on to give what she believes. She says, I think Blake was fine with everything in the movie she signed on for, hence not requesting an intimacy coordinator, and then all that changed the day her husband showed up on set and allegedly blew a fuse. She also believes that it was probably him that demanded Justin be put in the basement for the premiere.
While such rumors could be shrugged off as gossip, a pattern began to emerge. Over time, more and more people stepped out of the shadows to discuss their negative experiences with Ryan. The picture they painted was of an actor who might push boundaries behind the scenes, leaving co-stars, directors, and entire studios in awkward positions. It would suggest Ryan doesn't just manage his own performances, he also maneuvers behind the scenes to get his way, even if that means challenging or alienating people like Baldoni. The result, some say, has been a sort of blackballing effect, where rivalries escalate to the point that entire agencies and studios feel they have to pick sides. So far, Baldoni has mostly kept official statements diplomatic, but the rumor mill continues to churn with claims that Ryan's influence stretches far enough to affect Baldoni's next moves in Hollywood. Another surprising voice emerged when Martha Stewart, a frequent guest on talk shows, often known for her witty comebacks, let slip a remark about Ryan Reynolds that raised eyebrows.
He's probably on the list just because he covers himself up in his movies and you don't see his face. Ryan Reynolds, is he one of those? And you want to know something? He's not so funny in real life.
At first, people took it as lighthearted teasing. However, given the swirl of chatter about Ryan's off-camera behavior, some began reading more into her words. Stewart's comment felt like a subtle nudge to viewers. Maybe the comedic timing Ryan displays on screen and social media doesn't fully reflect his day-to-day personality. If he presents himself as a lovable prankster to fans while adopting a stern, controlling approach on set, it adds another layer to the theories about why certain collaborations crumble behind the scenes. Martha Stewart might not be known for deep Hollywood exposés, but her comments served as one more puzzle piece for those tracking the unflattering rumors around Ryan Reynolds. One of the earliest signs that something wasn't quite right behind the fun-loving mask of the Deadpool franchise was actress Morena Baccarin's experience. She played Wade Wilson's love interest in the original film, earning critical praise, and establishing strong on-screen chemistry with Ryan's wisecracking anti-hero. But fans noticed that her presence in the sequel was drastically diminished. Officially, Deadpool 2 was described as a story-based decision focusing on new characters and comedic action sequences. Yet insiders claimed Ryan had reservations about giving her character a more prominent role. Baccarin herself shared in interviews that she wished she'd been more involved. Meanwhile, rumors swirled that she'd been sidelined from press events. Though she maintained professionalism, her measured disappointment hinted there might have been creative or personal differences behind that choice. For some observers, this was the first clue that Ryan, for all his wit, might limit other cast members' spotlight, particularly if he felt it detracted from his own performance or the comedic tone he wanted to maintain. Though no one from the production confirmed these allegations publicly, it fueled suspicions that working with Ryan wasn't always the collaborative breeze people expected. If Morena Baccarin's quiet exit from Deadpool 2 interviews was noticeable, director Tim Miller's departure was a resounding alarm bell. Miller helmed the first Deadpool, delivering a smash hit that revitalized Ryan's career. By all accounts, the pair seemed thrilled about the project's success. Until the sequel's development started, Tim Miller parted ways with the franchise amid reports that creative clashes with Ryan Reynolds had escalated. Miller later admitted in interviews that it became apparent Ryan wanted to control most decisions, from scripting to tone. While he didn't bash Ryan outright, he described an environment where he either had to fight tooth and nail over every choice or simply let Ryan call the shots. Rather than perpetuate a series of draining battles, Miller stepped down. This move was significant. Directors rarely leave a wildly successful sequel unless the working conditions prove impossible or the clash of visions is too extreme. For many fans, Tim Miller's departure confirmed that the rumors of Ryan's behind-the-scenes controlling streak had substance. It also sent a signal to prospective collaborators. If you want to retain creative freedom, you might face friction with the star who has become synonymous with the property. Not everyone in the Deadpool family has parted amicably from Ryan. TJ Miller, who portrayed the character Weasel in the first 2 films, openly shared on a podcast that he found Ryan's attitude off-putting after the success of the initial movie.
I think after he got super famous from the first Deadpool, then things kind of changed. I think he was like, see, you guys see? And then I think I don't know. I mean, would I work with him again? No.
No.
I would not work with him
That
again.
much vitriol.
But I've said that about Michael Bay, and now we're friends, and I would work with him again. But I think Michael Bay is different. And Michael Bay worked on a movie with Ryan Reynolds also. And so he has a very specific opinion
That may mirror
of
your
Ryan
own.
Reynolds. And that was a good part of our last conversation with me and Bay. But I sort of wish him well because he's so good at Deadpool. And I think it's weird that he hates.
While TJ Miller is no stranger to controversy himself, his remarks about Ryan being horrifically mean and insecure resonated with other stories floating around. For fans, this became another puzzle piece forming an unflattering portrait of Ryan's on-set behavior, one in which comedic banter might escalate into power plays or targeted insults. If the comedic tone of Deadpool bleeds into bullying behavior, it reveals a tension between what's fun for the audience and what's happening behind the camera. TJ's candid account, combined with Tim Miller's departure and the gossip about sidelined co-stars, gave further credibility to the notion that Ryan's comedic brilliance might come with a controlling edge. Candace Owens usually weighs in on political and social issues, but her commentary on Ryan Reynolds surprised many. While Owens' take might not be universally accepted, her statements reinforced rumors that have popped up in pockets of the internet for years. The specifics may never be corroborated. However, the fact that multiple sources echo similar sentiments gives the rumors staying power. For audiences, this is especially jarring because it clashes with Ryan's carefully curated image. The hilarious, self-mocking star who roasts himself on social media and jokes about gin ads. Discovering that he might be orchestrating blacklists or micromanaging entire productions feels like watching the comedic mask slip just enough to glimpse something stern and territorial beneath. Martha Stewart's remark about Ryan not being as funny off camera takes on a new dimension when viewed alongside these other testimonies. Perhaps she was merely noting that he's quieter in person. But for fans who've consumed the many accounts of Ryan's alleged controlling tendencies, her comment sounded almost like a gentle warning. The playful persona you see on screen might vanish as soon as the director yells "cut." Whether Martha intended that interpretation or not, it fed into a broader narrative that Ryan is adept at toggling between public charm and private intensity. Many celebrities manage some kind of public-private split, yet few do it while championing an image so thoroughly rooted in humor and approachability. That gap between brand and behavior often triggers the loudest backlash when rumors of feuds or bullying emerge. Amid all these swirling claims, Robert Downey Jr.'s decision to steer clear of Ryan Reynolds' project takes on an added layer of intrigue. RDJ is a seasoned veteran who overcame personal struggles in the public eye, reinventing himself with the portrayal of Iron Man. Over the years, he's developed a reputation for balancing big-budget spectacles with a keen sense of how certain projects might affect his carefully rebuilt image. If RDJ did indeed hear from multiple parties that working with Ryan can be fraught, he may have concluded that a cameo simply wasn't worth it, even if it would thrill Marvel fans. It's also possible that RDJ saw no benefit in fueling a cameo-laden marketing spectacle. From a public relations standpoint, turning down a cameo politely doesn't tarnish his brand in the slightest. Meanwhile, diving into a project at the center of so much controversy could invite needless drama, a risk that a Hollywood survivor like RDJ might be unwilling to take. With so many conflicting tales, fans must decide, is Ryan Reynolds the genuine comedic figure who occasionally rubs collaborators the wrong way, or a controlling presence who hides behind a charming social media persona? The answer may lie somewhere in between. Ryan's comedic timing and self-deprecating humor could be authentic parts of who he is. People are multifaceted after all, but that doesn't mean he's immune to the seductions of power or the desire to maintain an iron grip on the success he's found with Deadpool. fame can magnify anyone's worst impulses, and controlling or combative behavior might be the flip side of Ryan's relentless drive to keep the franchise afloat and profitable. Tim Miller's departure, TJ Miller's complaints, Morena Baccarin's reduced screen time, Candace Owens' claims, and Martha Stewart's cryptic jab all contribute to a swirling narrative that cannot be ignored. Even if each account contains some exaggeration, the consistency of these stories is striking. At the heart of it lies a bigger question. What happens when a celebrity's brand starts to erode under the weight of too many revelations? Ryan Reynolds won't lose the Deadpool franchise anytime soon. He's too central to its identity, and his performances have brought the character from cult favorite to mainstream success. For some fans, the entire saga is simply a reminder that Hollywood is seldom what it seems. Celebrities carefully craft images that resonate with fans, but reality often veers from those portrayals. As more insiders speak up, the truth about Ryan's on-set demeanor may shift further into the spotlight, influencing how future projects are developed and promoted. Will the nice guy persona hold up under scrutiny, or will the industry's whispers forever change the public's view of Ryan Reynolds? Only time will tell. For now, Robert Downey Jr.'s quiet refusal speaks volumes. Sometimes the safest choice in Hollywood is to walk away from a high-stakes cameo, especially when behind-the-scenes tensions threaten to overshadow the fun on screen. So, what do you think? Did RDJ dodge a bullet by politely declining? Could Ryan simply be a driven actor protecting his vision, or is there real substance behind these unsettling stories? Let us know your thoughts and keep watching, because in the land of blockbuster movies and larger-than-life celebrities, truth is often stranger than fiction.